Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! That is by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
You found a way, okay? All right, now, what I tell you, okay? All right, this decade is going to be the decade of the Vols. You got me?
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, August 30th. College football is back. We got another week of high school football. It feels good. I know we're not quite returned to normalcy, but the good news is like we're getting to fellowship together. Even if it's like this world needs more positivity. And I realize not everybody's gonna be positive about football happening, but a large majority are gonna be positive about it.
Yeah, especially like in SEC country, they're going to be positive about
Especially
it.
in SEC country. And the good news is there's a lot of schools and a lot of organizations doing it the right way, and that's the most important part. I realize there are some that maybe could do a better job, but hey, the good news is as long as the athletes are safe and doing it, and we get to watch it, we get to be entertained. It's a good time to. It's perfect. The weather's been good. The weather's been nice this week. Till today, it was hot today.
It's been kind of cloudy and just around 80-ish.
Yeah, it's been nice. Friday night, Thursday night was excellent.
It was that was football weather.
Yes, it was. And then I guess last night there was even some high school football all day yesterday, and even some last night.
Yeah, I watched a lot. I watched the North Dakota teams.
Oh, I didn't realize they were playing.
There was a team from Oklahoma played. They played somebody.
The only high school football I watched yesterday, I watched the Catholic, and we'll get to see a play from that. Catholic play Texas Trinity. Texas Trinity Christian. And, dude, Deion Sanders' kid is good.
Texas forever?
Texas forever. I know we talked about this. He's better than FAU. I mean, I don't...
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Which he committed, it's been a while since he's been committed. So I guess that could change, but maybe he just wants to go to... maybe he likes FAU. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of that Willie Taggart relationship, which I don't get. I mean, I'm just like...
Does anybody get it?
Yeah, what's he proven that he can develop a quarterback?
So we were talking about that today. Did he coach Marcus Mariota? Was he an assistant at Oregon when Mariota was there? Is that where he gets the quarterback guru tag?
I don't know. Does he get that credit?
Maybe. I mean, I've heard people describe him as a QB guru, but I never knew why.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. That was a crap show at Florida State, so I wouldn't want to go anywhere where a guy got fired at a Power 5 level.
I mean,
when you're that talented.
Yeah, that team, which, to be fair, Jimbo Fisher knew what he was doing when he left.
I could see him at like a Louisville, though. And I think Louisville's like was one of his top teams. I could see him like being pretty dominant in the ACC.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he does look at going a Power 5 route now that he's gotten some exposure on the national level. We'll see what happens. He looked really good against Catholic. Me and you talked about this. That Texas Trinity team whooped up on Catholic, but Catholic's not bad.
No, they're good.
Texas Trinity is just a really good football team, and that was proven. I'm excited. I'm curious. You mentioned it. They're playing McCauley, and McCauley looks good. Maybe another week where they struggle, but it'll be interesting to see if they can bounce back. And like I said, that's a good football team. They'll take care of business plenty of times this year.
Yeah, I think that division, like McCauley, Ainsworth, and all them, it's going to get even more and more prominent.
Right. The Catholic did not make it easier on themselves by going to the private school division.
No.
So it'll be fun to see what happens. I know we just talked about high school football. We'll talk about high school football some more. I don't know if it's just growing up in East Tennessee. High school football is special. It's fun. But we are going to talk about fall camp. Obviously, a little bit more news. Tennessee did sit out Friday. Doesn't seem like there was a real reason other than just to make sure we get everybody tested, make sure they, because they did have some more positives. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't necessarily, Jeremy Pruitt said it, and they practiced on Saturday night. So it wasn't necessarily because of COVID. It was just kind of maybe getting ahead of the curve a little bit rather than reaction to it. So, which I know it seems reactionary by doing that after some positives, but I think it was to get everybody tested from what I understood and what they did publicly, to get everybody tested, make sure they knew who had been exposed. And he even mentioned it. They have a lot more time, fall camp. Those days are 25 practices spread out over like 42 days. So they could adjust the schedule a little bit more. So they also had the freedom to do that where most years they wouldn't. So they took advantage of that. I think that's smart. If you have the ability to do it, why not?
Yeah, just take a step back and just be like, are we doing everything we can to prevent or
the entire team
safe?
Right. Hopefully keeping everybody from getting exposed to it.
Right.
Obviously, not everybody's going to be free of that. So that whatever, good. They use the ability. They use what they had. Are going to talk about some recruiting news and some team news as well. Talking about college football, Central Arkansas and Austin Peay. Go Peay.
Go Peay.
Austin Peay got the win last night.
They did not.
Oh, they didn't? Oh, no, they lost on the... They were winning.
They were winning.
They were... What were they up with the... Was it the final 4 minutes? And then... I don't know. I can't remember. Central Arkansas, though, plays again on Thursday. They are getting all their games in as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I respect that because you don't know how long it's going to
Yeah,
last.
you got to.
Austin
I'm
Peay...
interested to see because they have the purple and silver field.
Oh, is that Central Arkansas?
Yeah.
Their field?
Yeah, it's pretty ugly, but
Yeah, it is ugly. I'm not a big fan of any other than green of any color fields.
Right.
I know a lot of people like the
Boise
State, and then I think it's Eastern Washington that have the red field. I think the red field's really ugly.
Yeah, it is really ugly.
Not a fan. Austin Peay took the opening touchdown though, 75 yards to the house, untouched.
Yeah, what a freaking way to start off college football.
Yeah,
In the triple option.
yeah. Well, yeah.
House call.
Hey, the veer works. It's like Novocaine. Just give it time.
Take that 2020.
I was about to say something else about Austin Peay. I don't remember.
That kid was a freshman.
So do we
He's a
find
true
out?
Freshman.
Was he?
Yeah.
Do we find out why it was played in Montgomery?
It was the Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff.
Is that a thing they do, or did they just
I
do
don't
that
know.
this year?
I just heard about it this year, so it might be something that they do.
But this year it just got more TV exposure because it was the only game on.
I guess.
I love the tweet
If
that
you
was.
got it, flaunt it. I guess. I mean,
You were no, they took advantage of it. I think a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people were at least talking about it on social media.
it's weird that it was at 9 o'clock.
To be fair, 8 p.m. local, but that's still late.
It is still late.
Like, because that was when Tennessee and Alabama kicked off last year.
Yeah,
8 p.m.
You have literally
Central.
You could literally do it any time you wanted to.
Yeah,
You're the
incredibly
only
dumb.
one.
Incredibly dumb.
Maybe that was scheduled before. I don't know.
Still.
Yeah, still.
You would think college football, their first game of a year when it's may not happen. I think it would get televised more on a really good primetime slot.
Mm-hmm.
Strange. I was about to say something else about college football. I don't remember now. We are going to talk about college football being back though. Is there a game today or does it start Tuesday? Is that when it starts pouring on?
So Division One.
Division One doesn't start till Thursday, or Division One FBS doesn't start till Thursday.
Right.
But I didn't know there were FCS games throughout the week. But we are going to talk about some college football. SEC football, it's so close. What are we, 27 days? 27
days. Al Wilson days.
Al Wilson days.
Vars Crouch days.
Pick a guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about some going to show our high school highlights. We've got two for you today. Send them in. We want to show the best high school plays in East Tennessee, and then we'll get some college football plays in here too when Tennessee's back. If you got any questions, drop them in. I am on Twitter and YouTube. Pull up YouTube. Landon's on Facebook. If you got questions, drop them. If we don't get to them immediately, stay in here. We want to talk to you all. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. So comment in the chat.
Yeah, and go check out our sponsors, Hound Dogs and Tennessee Tap House. Also, let us know where you're listening from.
Yep.
Love to get some geography up in here. So
Big geography guys.
Yeah, big geography guys. Caleb is.
Do you think you could name? I couldn't. By the way, I'll preface that. Do you think you could name? Maybe you could name all 50 states, the state capitals.
State capitals. Yeah. I can know a lot. I know a lot that people don't know.
Okay.
Like,
how many?
Maine.
What's
Maine's
Maine's?
a weird. Augusta.
Yeah, it is
I don't
Augusta.
know why I know that.
I knew that. I don't know why I knew it either. Do you know Delaware's? That's my favorite one to know.
No, I don't.
I think it's Dover.
Dover?
I believe. Y'all can fact check me on that. I think so.
New York's a weird one. Like, if
New York's is. Dang. I don't know it.
is it Albany?
It might be Albany. You might be right about that.
I think it is.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I can name a lot. I love the 50 States games too. It was made.
The Friends
One. Yeah. Big Friends fan. Big geography, big Friends fan, and they cross paths.
You a
No
big
deal.
paleontology guy too?
Yeah, man. I know that there are dinosaurs or were dinosaurs. I know that.
At one point. But
Yeah, I do know that. Let's go ahead and talk about some of this, I guess, team news. Deangelo Gibbs news. He has opted out of the 2020 season.
Yeah, I mean,
Was it directly for COVID, or is he just kind of taking advantage of it?
I think it was for academics.
Yeah, I saw that. So that's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird situation because he didn't play last year.
Right.
So that's 2 full seasons he's not played and been on campus.
Right.
That would be tough. You know, it makes me want to think maybe his grades weren't all the way there, and he needed to kind of focus on that.
Yeah, and I guess if you can't we talked about how they're going to take advantage of the practice schedule this fall. I guess you can opt out this season, and it's not going to hurt you. So if that's something you feel like you need to do to take advantage of that. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, this is the season to do that.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting. I think if you look at the bright side, you didn't have him last year.
Right.
But yeah,
I think you needed him in this wide. I think a lot of people expected him to start.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people did, but I think that just gives hopefully these freshmen. It seems like they came in hungry.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps them elevate their game. Like they see an opportunity to come in there right away and
Yeah.
play. I think Jalen Hyatt was already there, but I think Jimmy Callaway, Holiday, Malachi Wideman. I think all 3 of those guys should be like, oh, I can contribute.
Another spot just opened up.
Yeah, and I could possibly start.
Yep. It's gonna be. I'm curious to see what happens. Just because. Were they expecting this to happen? How does that affect your scholarship? So I mean, I'm sure they're gonna honor his scholarship, but how does it affect your count now that he opted out? Because I know that Tennessee was still a little above 85.
I think it still counts.
It still counts towards your 85. So they still got a few people to cut from that.
I think they are at 85 though.
Are they right now?
I think they're, if not there, they're
getting close to it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah, because I didn't know with the opting out rules. I didn't know how that worked. With the
because I think you had to be at 85 already, like when practice started.
Oh, okay. So there's already guys not on scholarship.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that answers that. What was the let's see. There's not been any other Tennessee players opt out of the season, has there? For COVID, or use the COVID rule.
No, I think Deangelo Gibbs is the only one that I guess notable one.
Right.
I think the Abercrombie kid is entering the transfer portal, which he wasn't going to play here.
Right.
Anyway,
It makes sense why he transfers.
Right.
It's not one of those eyebrow raising things that happen.
No.
You got the.
What was really interesting when the was Joe Doyle was back.
Joe Doyle is back.
That's wild.
It was kind of interesting that he transferred anyways. I mean, he wasn't necessarily beat out. Him and Paxton Brooks were
they're
consistently flipping for.
Yeah,
it was like flipping a coin.
Yeah, both of them were very inconsistent. They both had their weeks. I thought it was weird when it happened. Then he's back on the roster, so I don't know.
He had a great. I don't know if it was his redshirt freshman year or his true freshman year. I think it was his redshirt freshman year. I think he was behind Trevor Daniel his first year.
Yeah,
his redshirt freshman year he was fantastic. I thought it seemed like a really good replacement for Trevor Daniel, and then
he's a freshman All-American.
Yeah, I think so. And then I don't know what happened there. Not sure. I mean, punting's a weird position though. You can be really good at it, and then there can be one little slight change, and all of a sudden you're inconsistent, which was his issue. He still had the ability. I mean, him and Paxton Brooks both have the ability to bomb the ball. It's just consistently doing it is the question. And then, especially nowadays, when punters are better at getting people in the corner and deep in their own territory. So you also got to be really good at that. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's part of looking for a guy that's consistent at that.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was interesting to see him back on. I mean, it gives you more competition.
Yeah, which is good. We want competition.
Yeah, I think they got a transfer from UConn.
Yes.
Which I don't know. He doesn't have a ton of experience.
I think he had something kind of similar to Joe Doyle's story. Like punted it like one of his early years on campus and then got beat out.
Right. So yeah, there's going to be some competition at that position, which that's something you need. But with Deangelo Gibbs, I just like everybody was so excited to see him play, and then, this kind of happens. But we heard so much about him on scout team, just like doing a great job against first team defense. This dude's going to be a star. And then
last year, I remember being told to be very excited when he's eligible.
Mm-hmm. Because man, he was a borderline 5-star recruit out of high school.
Right,
And he played DB, but he's an athlete.
He remind me of this. He redshirted his freshman year at Georgia, right?
I think he played.
He did play enough or too much. The four game rule wasn't. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so but regardless, he'll have 3 years of eligibility left when he starts next year.
Think 2.
No. Your year of eligibility is not affected when you sit out for transferring. So he had 3 when he came to Knoxville, right? He was a freshman.
I thought he was a junior. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, he sat out his sophomore year.
That's what I thought.
He sat out his sophomore year, and he would have been a junior this year, but he's not going to use eligibility because he would have had 3 years of eligibility going forward if you count like starting this year.
Okay,
and
so
then
he would be a red. He'd be a redshirt junior this year if he played. So he'll be a redshirt junior next year.
And he'll have 3 years of
2
eligibility.
years. I have 2
This year won't affect it.
So he played in 2017 and 18 at Georgia.
Oh, okay. I thought he transferred after his freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had 2 years at Georgia.
Okay. I was thinking he had transferred. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, regardless, I mean, he's going to be an older guy when his 2 years of eligibility start.
Yeah.
At Tennessee.
And I know he's still going to be around the program. I don't know if.
Wouldn't imagine he could practice.
Yeah, I don't think he can practice. So, I mean, that's risky. If you had maybe a starting job lined up.
Even then, though, I mean, trying to train and stay in the condition you need to be on the team next year, but you're not allowed to work out with the team, train with the team. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. I mean, we do know at least like a Jawan Jennings type guy, which he only missed the last game, but he missed the last game of his whatever year that was that he got
17.
kicked off. Yeah, 17. I mean, he wasn't with the team again until probably summer, and that's a lot of time to stay away from a football team and try to be in, the shape you need to be in to compete for a starting job. So Deangelo Gibbs to be gone at least until January. That's a lot of time away from a team.
Yeah, and then like we mentioned those freshmen that came in and impressing everybody. That gives them a year in the program that you don't really get.
Right.
So I don't know.
We'll see. Be fun.
I feel like this like, I guess you can look at it both ways. Yeah, if you opt out, you're like, oh yeah, you're not missing a year.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not missing a year if you play either. So I feel like that would be I don't know. I feel like I would just rather play and just see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know this. I don't know the situation.
There's got to be. I'll say that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing going on behind the scenes, but there's got to be more to the story. That's I think.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be more to the story.
Yep.
Looking at this roster, let's talk about the biggest strengths on this Tennessee roster as the season approaches, and I think there's a lot of still questions, things that you just don't know what you're going to get. You got some young guys, some guys who maybe haven't played a lot. I mean, you lost two of your 2 best wide receivers, arguably your 2 best playmakers on offense. You lost your leader on defense and your leading tackler. You lost your best pass rusher. There are some questions for this team.
Yeah.
Biggest strengths, though.
Biggest strength for me is depth. I think that's the biggest kind of difference that we saw when Jeremy Pruitt wasn't here to when he took this year. He just added depth. And it's not just like bodies. It's like
it's actually
talented depth.
Now, I'll argue there's still some questions in the front 7 probably that are they talented enough to add good depth? I think there's still some questions. But the good news is
it's definitely a lot better than what he inherited.
They're not juniors and seniors where you're going, Can they do it? They're freshmen. That's why you're questioning because they're not proven.
Right.
So that's the good news about that.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I know
That's good, yeah.
Channing and or not Chaney.
Cheney.
Why did I say Chaney? Chaney and Ainsley in their press conference with the media, they just talked about like basically broke down every position of guys that weren't even starting, and that was a big thing for me. Like they mentioned Kenneth George, Warren Burrell is having a good couple weeks of practice.
I'm curious about Warren Burrell, just real quick while I mentioned him, because last year a lot of people were talking like Warren Burrell was going to be a very impactful player, and I know he's a freshman, so I'm not saying he was disappointing or anything, but I think with the way he performed in fall camp, maybe more was expected of him than he gave. I'm kind of curious to see this year if now that he's played some, get that under his belt and see if he can really take a leap forward and step up for that secondary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he'll get a lot of playing time. I think with him it was just in fall camp he impressed because he wasn't scared to guard Marquez Callaway or Jawan Jennings. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a freshman. I'm gonna do that." I think in a game it's a lot different. I don't necessarily think he played bad.
No, I don't.
I mean, there was times like he got beat. There was times that there's busted coverage, but hey, Alontae Taylor did too. So.
Right.
But yeah, they just talked about different guys. Chaney mentioned JT Shrout. He also mentioned Garantano. So he mentioned a lot of guys that probably won't start, but I think that's just another like that just tells you a lot about where this team has come in terms of depth.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the biggest strength for this team that hopefully it's used correctly, utilized, and can be a very good benefit for you. We kind of talked about it. I talked about it today with a buddy and kind of joke because there was a little bit of luck involved. But when you look at the Tennessee Titans playoff run, it was on the back of a running game. And I'm not saying Eric Gray or Todd Chandler or Derrick Henry, but I think the running it would be very nice. But I think the running game as a whole, you look at the offensive line, and then you talk about guys like you talk about Todd Chandler, you talk about Eric Gray, who can be really good backs, and potentially adding a couple guys that could be impactful. If that running game's dominant and you're able to control the game, it helps your defense out a lot, and obviously it helps your offense, opens up the playbook a little bit more, makes people respect the tackle blocks, and I think this running game should be a really big strength for the Vols.
Yeah, and he mentioned the running. Chaney mentioned the running backs. He mentioned Eric Gray and Todd Chandler. I think that's with your inconsistencies at quarterback. I think you gotta rely on this run game.
Yeah.
I mean, like last year it was passing. You had Callaway, Jennings, Palmer. So you kind of just hope to get it in their hands.
Yeah, you wanted to get it to the experienced playmakers.
And this is what you get at running back. Eric Gray, I mean, whoever is this, I think Eric Gray will be the starter, but whoever is the starter, the second guy is no slouch at all. That's a great duo.
Your two guys are SEC caliber backs that have ran for plenty of yards in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Well, Todd Chandler has. Eric Gray, I think, is still. I mean, he ran good in the last couple games, but one of those games was Indiana. Still has a lot to prove, but
I want to see a 1,000-yard rusher.
I think Tennessee needs to have. I think for it to be a really good year, one of the things you're going to be able to point to is the rushing game. So yes, I think for it to be a successful season, you need a 1,000-yard rusher or 2 700-800-yard rushers. Mm-hmm. One or the other.
Yep.
Because and that's talking about the rushing game, I'm curious to see how they handle it. And I'm not saying I'm not knocking it necessarily, but I think there is something to be said for letting a guy get comfortable in a game. And so I'm curious to see if they'll ride the hot hand or whoever that one back is, you're going to give him the most carries and see if he can kind of get in a groove. Yeah. Rather than saying he doesn't have it the first 5 carries, let's go to the next guy. Curious to see how they'll do that, how they'll handle that this year.
I think one thing they're going to utilize both of those guys in the passing game.
I hope so, especially Eric Gray. He got better as the season went along.
Yeah, I mean, I think 100% take this to bed with you. First play is going to be a swing pass to Eric Gray.
Well, no, it's going to be a dive. The first pass might be a swing pass to Eric Gray, but we're running a dive on 1st and 10 from our 25-yard line after the kickoff goes to the
That might be right.
Unless we defend, unless it's a punt the first play.
But you remember, like, Pruitt's always going to do something to make up for something else. So you remember Garantano, and then, like, the next game, after that Alabama game, they ran a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
So, and that first play is how Pruitt started off year one, was the swing pass, and it was terrible.
Well,
I don't think it was to the running back.
I don't know. I was very sad to see a couple really well executed bubble screens in high school football, and we can't. Our team, Tennessee, can't make that through.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a play they're running a lot at practice. I don't know if I want to see it.
I don't.
Because
I'm good. Pass.
If you do it well, I think it can work. But if not, if it's an incompletion on the first one, I don't want to see it again the rest of the season.
A lot of football people will disagree with me, but I also know a lot of football coaches who their philosophy is every play is designed to score a touchdown. Like even the 3-yard dive, they're like, I mean, ideally it goes to the house. How many bubble screens have you seen go to the house?
Yeah.
How many times does a bubble screen really set up touchdowns?
I just think it's a way to get your guys in space. I don't think it's necessarily gonna get you a touchdown.
Yeah, it is a way to get your guys in space, but it's ineffective a lot of the times to getting your guys in space.
Gotta have the right guys.
That helps. The defense is also... I feel like to run an effective bubble screen, one requirement is the defense to be set up very poorly.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Well,
when
you just gotta have good...
you do have good
blockers.
You do have to have good blockers, but like with a lot of teams having 5 DBs on the field for most snaps anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of died after that.
Like you're going to have a man over every receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, just throw the ball. Just throw it flat. At least you're at the line of scrimmage when you catch it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the bubble screens, but I think it's because of my traumatic history with Tennessee.
Probably doesn't.
I think
help.
that's why.
That probably doesn't help.
Yeah, I think that's why. We used to run them in high school all the time.
We did, and that's a way to get killed.
It is a way. I was the outside receiver, so I never got a bubble screen.
I got quite a bit.
Yeah, I never got that. I was just a outside offensive lineman on those plays.
It's really great when your linemen don't move to go block anybody, so you get a bubble screen and the whole defense is running at you, and you have no one blocking.
You get the biggest linebacker on the field.
Yeah,
coming at you.
Nice.
Do you have any other team news to talk about this fall camp?
Oh, so there's going to be no band pregame, and
That's so stupid.
so there's no power tee, I guess.
I guess it's not the power tee, but the
Or
tee.
running through the tee.
Yeah, running through the tee. So stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's a big part of like game day. Like that's tradition. When you think about Tennessee tradition, you think of that. It's
a big one. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't really know what you can do to make it happen.
I don't think there's anything you can do to make it happen. It's just I don't understand that, like, they're gonna be in the stadium, right? What's the difference in them marching on the field?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna be at the game.
Can it just be like distance out a little bit? You don't have to necessarily do it like.
Yeah, just only have like, instead of I think it's like 150 members, just put like 75 out there and still form the T.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe they'll do a running for the T, kind of like basketball, where it's like the
student section.
Oh, they do that, but maybe they'll do the.
I don't like.
You know, they have the. I don't either. They have like the silver one. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like it stands up, and they run through like the door in it.
Oh, okay.
I will do something like that. Creative. I think it's sad. The saddest part about that, which I know the seniors can technically return, but the seniors won't. They've already ran out through the T their last time.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, I don't know. Maybe in December we'll.
Maybe they'll just say F it. We'll
just break the rules. Yeah, what are they going to do? Cancel our season after this?
I'm sorry. I feel like they should. Like, if you're not going to do it the whole year, December on the Florida game, the seniors should be running. The seniors should be running through the T, and the team should be running through the T against Florida.
Yeah, get the band members some hazmat suits and
sure.
Let's run it.
We can find some orange hazmat suits somewhere.
Yeah,
that ugly yellow.
Or maybe just like a astronaut helmet.
There's a guy. That'd be awesome. There's a guy on the golf course today wearing like 3 different oranges. Oh, it killed me. I hate when Tennessee fans do that. They have
I saw that.
Did I post a picture? Somebody else at the golf course post a picture? I definitely didn't post one on Twitter.
I thought Jesse Smithy
was he out there? Maybe he's playing. But it was a slow round. But I hate when like Tennessee fans, because like none of the Tennessee oranges match because they all look different.
Was it this guy?
No, that was at the William Blunt game.
Oh.
Yeah, he did look like that though. He looked like that. You know how like just the Tennessee colors just look different on different like surfaces.
Yeah.
So none of your pants don't match your shirt, so you can't wear orange shirt and orange pants. You need to wear like a white top with orange pants, or orange pants with khaki, orange shirt with khaki pants on,
Or just
jeans. Overalls. But yeah, it drives me nuts. And the shoe color never matches, but they wear them with the shirt.
And
my
socks.
brother does it. I make fun of him all the time.
And the
I'm like, Sam, you're wearing 6 different oranges. It drives me insane. I'm a stickler for Tennessee orange, so it gets me a little bit. Yeah. And even like I wear like the hats don't always match, and I'm a big hat guy, so that drives me nuts.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Different like
it's just
material.
Different material, because that Tennessee
off.
orange is very specific, so it changes it. Mm-hmm. That's why for so long they've changed kind of the tone of the Tennessee jerseys, because apparently it doesn't look right on TV like the actual Tennessee orange. I'm like, F people on TV. Which I say that this year, it's only when we watch games.
Yeah. But it'll look good.
I guess it'll, yeah.
I mean, it looks good, like, in the stadium.
I think they've gone back to the true Tennessee orange. I think that was like the early 2000s when they were like really adjusting to those ugly uniforms.
Yellow almost.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit last night, what our tailgating is going to look like this year. We won't announce our spot yet because it's not official.
Right.
But we're working on a place close to the stadium, not on campus.
It's officially unofficial.
It's officially unofficial. Our favorite term. I guess you guys are all invited. Just wear a mask.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I require.
Hand sanitizer and mask.
And bring your own.
Yeah,
beverages.
bring your own. Yeah, we don't serve alcohol. We're not those kind of people. But it'll be fun. We're gonna be close to the stadium, so we can kind of like hear it. So like, it's like game day, but not like it's like a normal game day, but it's not. And you said you did opt out of tickets, right?
So we haven't done it yet. We're still waiting.
Oh, so I don't blame you. Why not see if you can get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see I kind of interested in what it looks like. Right. I don't think like we're kind of all in agreement that we'll just.
You understand you're probably not gonna get it, but you tried. Right. That was kind of us. We just went ahead and asked for our money back just to.
Yeah. Because
we had accepted it, maybe pessimistic a little bit about it, but we're like, we're not gonna get it. Just go ahead and get the money back. So it is what it is. Hopefully, if you guys have tickets and you don't want to go to the game, you don't give them away. I'd like to attend one game, in terms of like just be there with 25,000 and just see what it's like.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, because games. I'm not saying the football isn't fun, but also what's fun is getting to celebrate with people, and you're not gonna be able to do it the way you used to in the stadium.
So scalpers, they're gonna be like non-existent, right? Because
I'm sure there's gonna be some scalpers that still know how to get tickets, but yes, it'll be they won't be scalping at Dale Avenue and 17th Street this year. No.
Yeah.
No. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean that's it's gonna hurt a little bit in the local economy there.
Yeah.
Hurt the pockets. But my favorite thing to do though is celebrate touchdowns by hugging random people. It's the best.
Yeah. Now you can't.
Now I'm gonna hug random people at the tailgate when we do it. That'll be fun. You're saying no hugging? I'm sorry. If we score a touchdown with 4 minutes left against Florida, you mother effers are getting hugged by me. I don't care about it. COVID.
I mean,
COVID
I don't care to hug you. I don't know if I'm just hugging like the scalpers who aren't scalping anymore, so they come to the tailgates.
If they show up, you're gonna get hugged.
I'm hugging the funnest guy there, no matter who it is.
So that's your requirement to get hugged by Landon.
Yeah, be the funnest guy or girl.
What if Dallas
I'm not sexist.
What if
Either one, it doesn't have to be.
What if Dallas just tackles you? Forces
you
to hug.
No, I will not let him tackle me. I'll stiff arm Dallas to the ground. Hope he's listening.
We have a great video. Speaking, that was a Florida game. It was the interception. Was that Darren Kirkland Jr. that intercepted that?
Yeah, I think so.
That should have, I guess, won the game, not sealed it. And then freaking Philip Franks. And what was it, Abernathy?
It was
Abernathy. It got burned. I'll watch that play. Which one's worse though, Florida or Georgia? Which we ended up winning in Georgia in 16. But how do you get beat deep on either of those plays?
I have no clue.
Like, keep it in front of you. If they hit the guy in front, of you. Make them make the next play. Which in Florida, there was no next play. Literally, just keep them in front of you. Whereas Georgia, I mean, they would have had like 13 seconds left had they caught that ball in front of them. So it's like still you got to go score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They couldn't have won on a field goal or tied on a field goal.
Put 11 guys at the freaking goal line and just be like,
It's a free interception if you don't get beat deep.
oh, yeah.
It's a free interception.
Yeah, just do like punt safe and just have one guy just playing center field back there. I don't understand.
I hate to dwell on the past, but it's off season. It's dwell on the past.
It's one thing to get beat, like get out jumped by a receiver.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to just like let one run past you with time expiring.
Yes.
That's terrible.
It's unacceptable. It's lazy.
It's awful.
It's pathetic.
That Georgia one, like that, like the Florida one, something in me just kind of like
Knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the Georgia one, it was completely unexpected.
When he got to
like,
scramble around, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. I was like, yeah, that's it. He's going to throw it 60 yards on the run.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have no one behind him.
Being a Tennessee fan's fun.
Yeah.
It's in my TikTok video. I think that was a good video. Didn't get the attention I thought it would. The one, the Georgia and Florida play both were in that.
We need to tweet it out.
I'll tweet it out.
Okay. Get you some more. Get you some.
Get some views.
Get some clout like we did with Ross Kivett. We got him some clout.
Yeah, man's we're gonna get him paid. Get him.
Speaking of that, if y'all didn't listen to that interview, I like strongly encourage you to go do that.
Yes.
Great interview.
It'll if you've kind of been like, man, what has been the difference? And I'm not saying like looking at Dave Serrano's staff, we never got to talk to him.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say they didn't bring energy and competitiveness and just heart to the program. I'm not gonna say they won't or they didn't because I don't know. But it's easy to see if you're like, man, what are they doing right over there? It's that stuff, the energy and just the passion for just the game of baseball that Ross Kivett had is evident.
Yeah.
And kids are going to feed off your energy. Like the guys in that program are going to feed off the energy. We know Tony Vitello has the same stuff. We know Chad Zerker loves the game of baseball and loves the University of Tennessee. We know him personally and talk to him. Like the guys we've talked to from that program have so much heart and passion for it. It's easy to see why they're successful.
Yeah, no, I think it trickles down. He mentioned you have the right captain of the ship. I'd go one above Tony Vitello, and like Philip Fulmer has been that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about the support that the guys up there in that athletic program have for baseball. And I think that is for every sport. You know they have it with basketball and football, but do they have it for those other sports that maybe some people just don't pay attention to?
And I think something to note about Phil Fulmer that I think is kind of like, some of the stuff that they say publicly is just because they have to. Like they, even whether what they believe may be twisted a little bit for the media because you can't say some. But he is real about some things. Like when they ask him about the indoor track facility that Tennessee wants and is going to eventually build, he's like, that is something that's on our priority list. But the first thing on our priority list is getting football fixed because that's how we pay for that stuff. So that's our first priority. And then we'll get to that. So like he is very real about the necessary steps it takes to build an athletic department.
I thought it was cool that he mentioned that Philip Fulmer played baseball. I didn't know that. I
guess he's from Franklin, Tennessee, right? I don't know what high school he went to, though.
Yeah, was he like...
I should know that.
Winchester,
Tennessee, I think is right. I think that's where he's from.
Because I think he's from where Lante Taylor's from.
Gotcha. What, is it the same high school or just same area?
I think same area. Because Alante went to Coffee County. I don't know exactly where.
Told you, I'm not familiar with all those SE or Middle Tennessee towns.
Yeah.
Let's see. Philip Fulmer's from Winchester, Tennessee.
Okay.
Franklin County High School. That's where I got Franklin from.
Okay. So I don't think it's Franklin County anymore. I think it's just Franklin.
Well,
I think it's just Franklin.
Okay. Well, I think so. Franklin is south of Nashville. I don't think that's the same. It's not the same Franklin. Winchester is south of Nashville, but I think it's southeast of Nashville.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
I don't think it's the same Franklin.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jeff Hall went to Franklin County High School.
Oh.
Yeah. It's interesting, I guess. I mean, I think it is.
Geography.
Maybe
we love
not.
geography. Big geography
stuff
guys.
in there. Apparently, there's a Tennessee Curtis said there's an SEC rewind of the '98 Florida game on TV right now. There you go.
A couple months
If you're
ago,
sick
we
of listening
did
to us.
our 98 rewatch. And
Yeah.
we got to watch. We watched that whole entire season. If you're ever feeling down, I encourage you to go do that.
It's good football, and it's good Tennessee football.
Exactly.
So it's
A
nice.
lot of history and tradition in those videos. So
That was definitely an uplifting thing going on.
one thing that Jim Chaney pointed out, and I thought this was a great quote. He was like, "Yeah, the freshman receiver." He was talking about the freshman receivers, and he was like, "Yeah, sometimes they might not know like which way to run, but they run fast."
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
If you're
think
gonna make
that's-
mistakes, do it
that's
100
another strength. I think is
100%.
just size and speed.
Yeah.
I don't think especially wide receiver, we haven't had that kind of speed in a long time. And then size. Our O line and D line, we finally gotten to the point where we can compete with the SEC.
Yeah.
In the trenches, we have the guys that are 300 plus pounds.
Right.
We have 28 guys on the roster currently right now that are over 300 pounds. 300 or above.
28?
28.
Perfect.
That's a lot.
That is. That's a lot of guys. I love it. That's, I mean,
Because I don't know how much when Jeremy Pruitt started,
I
but
think it was like 7.
yeah, it was not very many.
I don't think it was double digits.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's, we've talked about the difference this program's led to, and man, I hope it keeps trending that way. I hope some of the necessary changes, because it's not quite there yet. There are some things to still get fixed. But I like the way it's trending. I know this is going to be a pivotal year in what happens with Jeremy Pruitt's time at Tennessee. The good news is I don't think it's the end-all be-all. If it's a really good year, I don't think it's the last you'll see of Tennessee. If it's not a great year, I'm pretty confident that I think Jeremy Pruitt has the right mindset for this program.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, he's good at selling, like, what he's wanting to accomplish at Tennessee. And that's huge. Like, after last year, it's got to be tough to recruit after you lose to Georgia State.
Yeah.
But the fact that you get a top 10 class in here, I think, he's doing a great job of not only, like, selling your program, but also, like, keeping everybody else invested that's already within the program.
I mean, it starts with buying in, and it seems the players and staff have bought into what he's selling. That's good.
And
We'll see if it
I think
continues.
yesterday was that's
I did want to mention that. I'm
thing,
glad you said that. Tennessee led it. Tennessee football athletics player led
was
protest.
it the march on my campus.
I don't even know if protest would be the right word to say, because it's not like they were out actively doing it against any specific thing. Just an awareness campaign, an activist campaign for equality, for Black Lives Matter, not the organization. And whether they individually support the organization or not, that's up to them. The school doesn't, so don't be concerned with that. And but they did. We're marching for social injustices, and I don't think Jeremy Pruitt has to support them to prove he cares about his kids, but the fact that he supports them in whatever they do, I think is a big reason why the program is heading in the right direction. Like I said, I don't think it's the end all be all. I think he could have not gone and still been a good football coach. But the fact that he's going, I think it's a reason these kids are gonna play hard for him. And I don't think that's why. I mean, surely it's not why he does it, because there's a million other ways you could do it, and I don't think every player is gonna play hard for Tennessee or for Jeremy Pruitt because of that. Like, there's still gonna be some guys that transfer, or don't come here, or leave. And Jeremy Pruitt did that, so I don't think that's the reason why. I'd be shocked to find out that, because people can see right through that stuff.
Yeah, and when I hear people talk about the different coaches on campus, usually the first couple things that come out of their mouth is usually genuine.
Right.
I've heard it with Jeremy Pruitt. Ross Kivett said, Tony Vitello's like that. They're going to tell you exactly how it is, and they're not going to go back on that.
Right.
Whereas with Butch Jones, there's some of the stuff he said, you're like, that's bullshit.
Right.
So
you knew it.
Yeah, I think that's huge, and the fact that Jeremy Pruitt was just like, yeah, we're not gonna have practice Friday. I'm gonna support you guys and let you guys do that.
Well, and then Saturday they changed their practice schedule to accommodate the event.
Yeah,
I believe it was put on by the athletes. Maybe it was put on by someone else, and the athletes joined in. But I think it was the athletes, because it was through campus. It started at the Torchbear. It was a I think it was a good day for the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, and I saw a picture of Trey Smith leading like the whole crowd.
Yeah.
I think he's done a great job of just being a great ambassador of Tennessee.
I was about to say Peyton Manning used to be that guy. I think in the future it's going to be Trey Smith.
Yeah.
There's not been really anyone since Peyton Manning that's kind of been when you see him, you think of the University of Tennessee, because that's who they've represented their whole anytime Peyton gets interviewed, it seems like something about the university gets brought up.
I think Josh Dobbs did a good job with that.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs did, but unfortunately, just his time in the league hasn't panned out to where he's had that kind of notoriety of it.
Right, exposure that like people know he went to Tennessee.
Right, and in some ways he has because he's still talked about all the not as much as he would be if he was a starting quarterback for the NFL.
Mm-hmm. But a great ambassador.
Yeah. But I think Trey Smith, because there's not been anyone take Peyton's kind of place since it's happened. And I'm not saying someone needs to. Peyton's done a phenomenal job. Mm-hmm. But I think Trey Smith could be that guy because he's going to be, unless I pray this doesn't happen, but unless something happens with his health, he'll be a starter in the NFL next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll have a lot of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he's obviously a vocal guy in the locker room and off the field too. So.
Yeah, for him to I feel like he's already to that point, and he's not even played his senior season yet.
Yep.
He's already to the point where Grant was, Admiral was, Josh Dobbs.
Grant Williams is a guy that could end up being a big ambassador.
Yeah, he played today.
Yeah,
they beat the Raptors in the first game of.
I believe since being in the bubble, he's the most efficient rookie. I believe.
Yeah, he was. That's
which those efficiency are kind of those Pro Football Focus stats. So
right,
you don't put too much weight into them, but
yeah, Trey Smith has an opportunity to take it even further to that, like you said, that Peyton Manning level, just because he's gonna be a starter on Sundays.
Absolutely. That's all we got for football. Well, Tennessee football.
Yeah, I'm excited for football.
College football's back.
It's back.
The officially. Austin Peay and Central Arkansas getting it kicked off in Alabama. Central Arkansas is going to Alabama again this week. Thursday, going to play UAB. UAB had a decent team last year. 2 years ago, they had a pretty good team. Curious to see kind of where that season goes going for this year.
Yeah, wasn't the Maryville quarterback there?
Yes.
Dylan something?
Dylan. Yes. Is it his first name or last name, though? Because
I think that's his first name.
First name? Man, I can't remember. He was on the roster last year, though.
Yeah, he played.
I think he was.
Because I think the quarterback got hurt. Or
Hopkins?
Dylan Hopkins. That's it.
It's Hopkins sounds right. Okay. So Dylan Hopkins is, I don't know if he'll be the starter this year. I'm not sure. So what kind of schedule, do you know what kind of schedule the non-Power Fives are playing? Because I know the ACC is still playing one non-conference opponent.
Yeah.
The Big 12 is playing one or two. One.
Yeah, I think that both of them are playing one. I don't know, I think it's up to their conference kind of what they're doing. But then you have Central Arkansas who is just trying to pick up opponents.
Oh, are they a non-conference affiliated? They're FCS, right? Yeah, they're FCS.
Yeah. So
are they not in a conference?
I think they are, but
they're still trying to play more games. Well, you got to get paid. They're gonna make money from the UAB game because UAB's
they play EKU twice.
Interesting
on their schedule. They played North Dakota State. I think North Dakota State only has 2 games scheduled. Or no, they have one right now, Central Arkansas. I think they're trying to talk with somebody else to try to play.
What in the world? That's so weird.
Yeah, so I don't really know how it's working out with everybody else.
The FCS is probably, I guess a lot of FCS programs are having to not play, so that's probably hurting Central Arkansas because they typically get funded by these FBS schools paying them to come play.
Yeah.
And then some of the lower FBS schools, that's how they make money is the Power 5.
So I think Central Arkansas took a different approach. Instead of just canceling it, they're like, hey, let's go play some guys and get some TV money real quick.
Maybe it too.
And cash that in.
Exactly. Other games this week, so that's a Thursday game, Central Arkansas and UAB.
Mm-hmm.
South Alabama and Southern Mississippi are Thursday. Thursday games that got canceled or postponed. Jacksonville State and Florida International. Jacksonville State's an FCS program. And then Rice and Houston. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Because I think they were like slated. I think they had like scheduled after all the conferences. I think they had scheduled, and then I'm not sure why they postponed. Then Saturday you got several FBS programs playing. Eastern Kentucky which I think they're FCS, and Marshall, Middle Tennessee and Army are playing. SMU and Texas State, Houston Baptist in North Texas, Arkansas State and Memphis. And then Monday, BYU and Navy.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the first
And that's like the official game of college
big
football.
game, I guess.
That should be a pretty good game.
Yeah. I think the Memphis Arkansas State would be.
I was about to say Memphis Arkansas State might be pretty good.
MTSU
Memphis should
and
do well.
Army should probably be a decent game.
Depending on, I feel like MTSU is so kind of up and down.
Yeah.
But so depending on where they're at, it should be a pretty good game. And then next Saturday, Marshall and East Carolina play. Or sorry, the 29th.
And Chase Hayden.
Oh yeah, he's at East Carolina now.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
So he'll be playing.
Yeah. Nice. So that's I guess week 1, and then
Dude, his brother Dallin is pretty incredible.
Yeah, he is good. He is a good player. And then week 2 starts in like the second week of September.
Yeah, that's when the ACC
there's
starts, right?
There's a gap there. Mm-hmm. Pretty good little gap. But the ACC, yeah, they start that week. And then Missouri State and Oklahoma are still playing. So you got that week pushed back and hanging on. That's their non-conference game.
Yeah.
And Duke and Notre Dame. Is that gonna be a good game? First week from the SEC.
I doubt it. Oh, they got Hunter Johnson, don't they?
Duke should be decent this year. And then you never know with Notre Dame. Notre Dame does usually start off hot though.
I think Duke has Hunter Johnson at quarterback. Maybe not. Maybe he's at Northwestern.
Chase Bryce.
Yes.
I think that's the starter.
Clemson. He was a Clemson transfer, right?
Yes.
And Hunter Johnson was too. That's where I was getting that confused. And Chris Rumpf, his son, Chris Rumpf II, he's a big time NFL prospect at Duke.
I think Duke should be pretty good this year. I don't know. I mean, Notre Dame's ranked 10th right now. They usually start off pretty good. Depends on their schedule. They usually start off pretty good. It's usually the end of the year they start falling apart.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm kind of curious to see them play which they already play a full Power 5 schedule.
Dude, I'm gonna watch so much football though. After just it being a question and
I need to work it where I don't do anything on Saturdays. Like just so I can just watch football.
Just come over here and watch football.
It's fun, yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, buffalo chicken dip on tap.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean that's up to the boss, but yes.
Yes, but we'll see.
Yes, but it's officially unofficial.
Exactly. Or I just need to be able to take my ATV on the golf course with me. Some golf courses are getting TVs on the cart.
Oh,
that's where it's
fancy.
At. Yeah, that's where it's at. And they have like the ESPN app where you can watch the game on the screen. So that's pretty legit. I think I watched a World Cup game a couple years ago on the golf course. It's pretty pleased. Those are the golf courses you want to be at.
A little pretty penny to play.
I mean, like normal. The ones that I play that have the TVs, normal, like a normal price.
Sevierville have the TV?
Sevierville doesn't have TVs. No, they do have chargers in the car though, so I can
charge your phone and just watch
it. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Catholic game on the golf course yesterday, but it got away, so I was like, I'm not gonna pay attention anymore. Yeah. When it started getting away from them, let's talk about that. Unless you got anything else for college football.
You want to get to recruiting real quick?
Yes, I did skip recruiting. I apologize.
Okay. So, recruiting. So, you got some guys set to make their decision this week that Tennessee is kind of in those final couple of schools with. So, you have 3-star 2022 tight end Bennett Christian will make his decision on Tuesday. And it's between Ohio State, Tennessee. I think he went and visited Ohio State, and then he visited Tennessee last week.
So how's that working right now? They just kind of go and
basically they'll like FaceTime or Zoom or whatever, and a coach will tell them to go like this place.
Interesting.
And then they'll tell them to go this place, and they'll talk, I guess, with different coaches. That's kind of how they're doing their virtual tours.
Yeah.
So hey, getting creative, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
guess that's all you can do. But he is a legacy player. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I think he's gotten some.
Is that who Tennessee got a crystal ball for today?
No, so he's gotten some crystal balls for Ohio State.
Gotcha.
But he's 2022, so if
Yeah, it's a little ways away.
yeah,
Mind isn't necessarily made up.
Right.
Or Tuesday.
right. Yeah, it's not going to be over with. So William Griffin Parker, the 3-star offensive lineman out of Pearl Cone, will make his decision on the 4th. So what would that be? Friday? Is that right?
4th is Friday, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll make his decision Friday. It looks like it's Tennessee-Alabama battle. Maybe old 51 Elijah Simmons can.
I was like, who's from Pearl Cone on the team right now?
Yeah.
That's who it is.
Yeah, go get
The Junkyard Dog.
Go get your former teammate. And then we're trending with, we got a crystal ball for Jamarian Gooch out of Kings Academy.
Kings Academy.
Yeah, he's
What about him this year?
They're pretty good.
Apparently.
It'd be some.
They only have like 30 roster players.
That's crazy.
And they beat, which I know Seymour's not great, but Gallenberg Pittman's supposed to be pretty solid this year for their class.
Crazy. Yeah, and then they beat Seymour. Like, they've beaten some. They're a lot bigger schools than what they are.
Yes.
So
Correct.
yeah, that's been huge. So yeah, he's a Auburn commit right now. So just beating Auburn in recruiting, nothing new. And then
Hopefully, let's beat them on the field too. I know we got them in 18, but
right. I think Tennessee
Still
just
one more
needed
time.
offensive linemen in this class. They only
Yeah.
have one with Colby Smith. So they wanted to add some kind of bigger bodies. I think last class they just kind of got guards and centers with Cooper
Right.
Mays, R.J. Perry, James Robinson, Javonte Spraggins were kind of inside.
you definitely shouldn't take a year off from linemen.
Exactly.
But you can lighten up the look. You didn't have to go line heavy this year
Right.
with who you had on the roster.
Mhm.
So that's nice.
Yep. So they're still going to swing with guys like Amarius Mims, Nylan Green, Smell Munden, Tyrion Ingram, Dawkins. But I think they'll weed out what they need to if those guys
Right.
wanted to get on board.
Yeah.
So we got one more spot available. So who's going to get it,
Next
or
up,
who's going to get out?
that too. Open up some spots.
Yeah.
That's going to be the interesting thing to see what happens between now and December and February.
Yeah.
What are those? Who has the committable offers? Be interesting.
And I don't know. Like, a lot of people are going to wait, but people are like, go ahead and getting it out of the way because they want to claim their spot.
Right.
So you have like a 3-star, borderline 4-star that like doesn't have a spot in some of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Tennessee's filled up
I like it.
for the most part.
I like turning people away. I like the thought of Tennessee turning people away.
Yeah, you can be selective.
Exactly. I like the thought of that. Let's get back to those days.
Yeah.
Okay, now high school football.
High school football.
I got excited. I got ahead of myself.
Some big games.
Yeah, I want to mention the Kings Academy because I think everybody was a little shocked that they beat Seymour. I know Seymour's down from what they used to be a couple years ago, probably 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Kings Academy's whooping up on some of these bigger schools, and then Gallenberg Pittman's supposed to be good. I think everybody was shocked to see that score. And then they played Thursday night. I think they moved their game as well, and everyone was kind of expecting Pittman to come back, and Kings Academy just ran away with it.
Just never did.
No.
Yeah, they got some pretty good athletes. I mean, you have Jamarian Gooch, who's a difference maker. He's like 6'7", 300 pounds, so he's a big guy to, play against Gatlinburg Pittman.
And that's a
But they've got
difference
some
on-
good athletes too.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, they used to play, I think, like 7-on-7 football 9-on-9 football a couple years ago, and then they've gone to 11-on-11, and I don't know how many games they've really won, but they've gotten a lot of talent in there since.
Yeah, not looking back.
Nope. All right, so we said we were going to show our favorite high school football plays.
I do want to mention some games
yeah,
before you
yeah,
do
do
that. So Alcoa 55-0 over Austin.
Over
East.
Austin East.
That was,
Austin East didn't look terrible against Webb.
Austin East didn't look terrible until like the second half.
Well, Alcoa has that running game that'll just wear you down too.
Oh, their defense is insane.
And their
I
defense
think
is nasty.
they gave up negative 17 yards.
That defense last year was nasty, and I think there were a lot of sophomores.
Yeah, they're. I think they have. I think the first game they gave up like 25 yards, and then this one
They played Blackman too.
is
the first
negative 17.
Phew.
So I mean,
That's demoralizing.
Yeah, like how do you?
They had a. I need to throw that highlight in there, I guess, real quick. They had a nice play on a bubble screen. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you freaking know it?
Don't do it.
See if I can get that one pulled up for us. Yeah, that's. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked here. It won't be the same.
And Dobbins Bennett and Oak Ridge played on Saturday. That was a big
little shocker. What was the final?
It was 19-3.
So did Dobbins Bennett end up winning?
Yeah, Dobbins Bennett won. Dude, Elizabethton. I want to see Elizabethton play on TV.
They won the state championship last year, right? Do I remember that correctly?
Maybe. I mean, they look.
Yeah.
They're putting up a ton of points. Is there anybody there? They got any Jason Wittens up there that they can just?
Well, Sean Witten, his brother's the head coach.
Oh, so that's so they do.
I'd say that helps you a little bit.
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me. So I'll pull up. Here's the play from Alcoa and Austin East. Just a great. First off, he didn't try to hit him as hard as he could. He's wrapped. I guess he didn't technically wrap up, but he got his shoulder through, got his head across, drove his hips. It's a great football play.
Yeah.
It's a great football play. Love it. Love it.
Form tackling.
We'll go that with the third play of the number 3 of the week, I guess. That's amazing. So they gave up 17 total yards on the game.
-7.
Negative 17.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like just imagine being a quarterback. You're like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna lose yards on this play. So what's the point of even snapping it?
Let's start kneeling.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys like my new offense?
There were some other ones. Central and Fulton played. It was 21-9. That was a pretty decent game.
It was in Central. I mean, you had the Liam and Caleb Fortner coming up big. Shocker. If they win a state championship this year, it's pretty much gonna be.
And Liam Fortner.
Yeah, Liam and Caleb both.
Yeah.
Liam had a really nice touchdown.
Yeah, they're both.
West won big over Ferry. I think West looks like they might be stout this year.
30-7.
I think everybody expected them to be pretty good, but Farragut's not bad.
Right.
They beat Bradley Central.
Yep.
And Bradley Central is supposed to be pretty good this year.
They did lose Trey Curry.
They did lose Trey Curry, but I mean they still have
Burt.
Yeah, the quarterback. So.
And then Grace beat South-Dual.
Yep.
Kind of hurt us a little bit.
Little stinger. We don't like being shut out, so we take it personal.
But dude, that's huge for a program like Grace.
Yeah.
I think when they first made Grace, I think they thought it would be as big as CAK, and it's just been a smaller program.
Well, I mean, and when McCamey was there, they had some really good years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they haven't really had since then many great years. They've had some good players,
but I was shocked when the coach over there told me that not one player on their team plays both sides.
That's impressive. I mean, that is impressive.
Because South-Dual doesn't do that. I mean, they're 5'8" and they can't do that.
Yeah. There's a lot of 5A schools that have Ironman guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And they're not only playing both ways; they're playing special teams too.
And we talked about how good Webb was against AE.
They got whooped by Macaulay
a week ago, and Macaulay came in there 55-0.
And that makes this week 3 you look for Catholic, and Macaulay travels to Catholic.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on TV. It definitely might. It'll be on the radio.
And then Powell and Anderson County.
Powell and Anderson was a great game. We've got
Is Powell? Are they just going to be that team that kind of like Tennessee was a couple years ago? We can't just shut anybody out, so we got to make everything interesting.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. The Anderson County had its opportunities too, even at the end. But man, Powell just that quarterback making plays,
dude, and they're loaded with sophomores.
Yeah,
and juniors. They don't have hardly any seniors besides their running back.
The game-winning touchdown that you'll see in a minute is, I believe it's it's either 3rd or 4th and goal. It's 4th and goal from the 25.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see in a second.
Yeah, great play. I think
2 weeks in a row.
They could win a state championship this year, but if they don't, they got plenty of years.
Yeah.
To do it.
If they don't this year, I'll be pretty shocked.
There's
because
your,
5A
phone throw.
Exactly. We're ready to go now. The show just started, folks. Welcome in. If they don't win this year, I'll be pretty shocked because I think most of the talent is most of the better teams in 5A are on this side of of Tennessee. So when you look at who they've got to go through, and they look every bit as good, if not better, than all those top teams in 5A.
I mean, it's going to be a showdown for 5A. You got Oak Ridge, who's good.
Yeah.
Powell, South Bull's good.
They'll be in the conversation. Central. Yeah.
Who else? I feel like there's another one.
I feel like you have, just because they improved quite a bit from week 1. Gibbs. You have to throw Gibbs in that.
Yeah.
Gibbs can. Here's the thing about Gibbs. They may not win a state championship, but they're going to probably upset somebody.
Yeah, like you can point out some of these classes, like who's like Alcoa. You can just go ahead and get their rings fitted because they're going to win a state title.
They've probably already done that.
Yeah,
they picked
probably
their rings out.
Yeah, probably already have. But 5A, it's kind of it's not wide open, but it's like you've got there's no clear cut winner.
Several teams have the opportunity to win.
Yeah.
And I think even some of the teams we named.
That's the way it's been for a couple of years now, too.
Right. I think some of the teams we even named maybe have the ability to get to a state championship. Do they have the ability to win it? I don't know about. But they have the ability to get there because they have the ability to upset teams.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
And once you get there, you just got to win the next game. 4A, you mentioned Elizabethton could be interesting because you expect Greenville to be up there, who got upset this week. I can't remember by who. The Greenville got upset this week.
Who did they lose to?
Not sure off the top of my head. And then you have, hopefully Fulton improves. They look like they've improved from week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Anderson County's 4A.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good class.
Anderson County's
in East Tennessee. Anderson County looks really good. I think they got some things to figure out defensively, but they look pretty solid.
Is Campbell County, are they 5A? Are they 4A?
I think they're 4 or 5.
What's Carter?
Carter is 4.
4A?
I believe.
They beat Campbell County.
Carter, I thought they won week 1. They lost week 1. They bounced back.
Who did they lose to week 1?
I thought they won, so I'm not sure.
Was it Gibbs?
No, Gibbs played Halls.
Oh, that's right.
And lost. I think Halls, I don't think there's some big expectations on Halls. So, yeah. Send in your favorite highlights. So, obviously, we're talking about it. We pay attention. At least, we pick.
I do want to mention this. Heritage got their first win week 1. They lost this week to Sevier County 21-14. But last week, they snapped their losing streak. 25-game losing streak snapped.
Who'd they beat?
Why did you
I don't
ask?
remember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Why did you ask?
The Dirty 30, baby. Good for them.
30-30, yeah. So they haven't won a game since like September of 2017.
Shoot, that's a long time.
That is a long time. Hey, you snapped it.
You did. Okay, who are you? We're asking about Carter. Let me look him up because, like I said, we do like high school football a lot. I know we don't, obviously we don't remember who plays everybody. It's hard to keep up with. I mean,
there's a lot of
There's,
teams.
what is it, 14 teams in Knox County alone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've done pretty good with knowing who most of. They played Ray County week 1, which is Ray County's good. They beat Jeff County this week. I think they put a
Carter beat Ray County.
No, they lost to Ray County week 1.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think it was a bad
close.
loss. Yeah,
it was
and
close.
Ray County's a pretty good team. I think they
used to compete for 5A.
Yeah, they played the year West won. West barely beat them in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Ray County's pretty good. They beat Jeff County this week. Yeah, you're right. Carter did beat Campbell County. Who was the other team that we didn't know who they played? Heritage. I don't know if I see them active on Twitter much. At least their football program. Who was there's someone else though before that. Heritage plays Bradley Central this week. So that'll be an interesting one. They do tweet a lot. I just don't see it.
Who's week 1? I don't remember who it was.
I'm getting to week 1, sorry. They had a guy up for player of the week in week 1.
It was
Lenore City. They got spanked.
Spencer Williams. Yeah.
Lenore City got spanked in the Battle of the Bridge. It was like 41-0.
Oh, by
Loudon.
Yeah.
Which I think Loudon's supposed to be pretty good. Are they 4A? I think they're 4A.
Yeah, I think
I don't
they
know.
are.
I don't know if they could. I don't know where they stand as far as competing for a chance to get out of the side of the bracket, but I think they're pretty solid.
I'm trying to see who Heritage played.
Lenore City, week 1.
Oh, okay.
Lenore City.
Okay.
They played Lenore City, Sevier County, and then they played Bradley Central this week.
Oh, they're 6A, aren't they?
They are.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's tough for them. Tough for them and William Blunt. William Blunt played Maryville
I
this
didn't
week.
realize they had that many kids. I guess they do.
It's a big. All those schools are big. Maryville, Blunt County, and
I think that Spencer Williams actually know people in his family, and like Heritage is a big baseball program, and I think
Yes.
he's a good baseball player too.
Nice.
Like those dual sport athletes. So does Tennessee.
Yeah. Show me you can play more than just football.
Yep. Are you want to do those? Did you already
Yeah.
do the highlights?
No, I showed the AE one. So this one is from the Catholic and Texas Trinity game. Say his name one more time.
Shadir
Sanders. This is one of the only really good plays we could find, but he scrambles out of the pocket here. Dude, he just throws a really good ball. He gets away from several tackles, gets a first down. The kid's a baller.
Dude, he was on pocket. I mean, look at that. He was pressured, but there was no like frantic actions about him. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get away from that guy, and I'm gonna throw it past."
He's a good player. He had a really good play in the first quarter. Threw it out of his own end zone and threw a really nice pass downfield to a receiver. They called PI on it. I didn't think it was anywhere close to PI. They called on the defense. I was like, why throw the flag?
Yeah,
they're not going to accept the penalty.
Right.
Because in high school, it's not NFL. It's not the spot foul. It goes back to line of scrimmage, 15 yards. Know the game. Leave the flag in the pocket so if they want to play hurry up, they can.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yes. I was like, great. All the entire country is getting a good look at how good TWSAA is. We're officials.
So this was Sanders' stat line for the game. He was 23 of 29, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then 2 rushing touchdowns.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, you can't have a better game than that.
No.
Against a quality opponent like Catholic is.
Right.
And Catholic was without Tommy Winton. He's a guy that's got some SEC offers in the 2022 class. He was out, I think, with a hamstring. So I would like to see him play.
Yeah.
I still don't think they win, but I think it's a little bit more interesting.
Here, I actually found the Anderson County interception. Let me pull that up on the screen here. It's a very, very impressive catch. Let's see if I can get it. Sorry. Struggling a little bit here. I thought I had it and didn't for a second, but I've got it for y'all now.
There's a lot of good games so far.
There are.
I hope high school season is able to finish it out.
Yeah. So this play though, Anderson County, not sure his name. Their safety comes over and Jordan Potts, that's his name?
Jordan Potts.
The quarterback for Powell. He throws an impressive ball too. So this isn't some feathered ball in that's easy to adjust on. And then that receiver it would have been a touchdown if he doesn't make the catch. Have you seen the play?
I don't think so.
It's a very impressive play that he's able to go up and get a catch. And if you see I can't remember if they show it from behind. They did on the coverage. The safety's even beat a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's able to go make a great play on the ball. Dude, Anderson County's good. Like I said, their defense has a little bit of ways to go. Their offense couldn't get clicking in the first quarter, but they figured it out in the second half.
Yeah.
And then let's see if we can find the Powell touchdown. I mean, you've seen this play, right?
Oh, yeah.
So 4th and goal from the 20. Makes 2, 3, 4 people miss. Gets his feet set.
I mean, that's
The kid's good.
Russell Wilson-esque.
The kid is sophomore, second start. Anderson County is not a bad team.
Yeah,
I realize
you're
his
on the road.
I realize your receivers help you out a lot, but the kid is flat out good.
Yep, and great catch by J.J. Fast.
Yeah.
Good route. I mean, that's what you do when your quarterback's rolling out. You roll out with him. I'm sure that wasn't his first route. I'm sure it was just like something else, but he saw his quarterback in trouble and he got open.
Yeah, J.J. Fowles is a good player too.
Yeah,
Which he's not. I know he's not the kid getting all the Power 5 offers right now, but his fair share will roll in. I'm sure.
He'll be a.
I think he's not. I don't think he's quite as fast.
Yeah, he'll be a college football player for sure.
Don't think he's quite got the speed that wows you, but he'll in due time. Be patient.
Solid
in due
athlete.
time. Yeah, due time. That's all I got for high school football. Send in your plays because I don't catch them all. I try to. I'm on Twitter on Friday night. I get yelled at it for sometimes because I'm on it a lot. But I'm on Twitter Friday night, but I don't catch them all.
Who's the rivalry Thursday game this week? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I wish they were doing a Saturday one. I kind of like that. I think it's and I think it's kind of cool for the area to get more than just a one Thursday game and then the normal Friday games.
Right.
I think it's been cool to have a Thursday and then obviously you have all your Friday games and then a Saturday game. They've done that 2 weeks in a row. I wish they'd keep that up. I realize it, kind of makes a short week, but it gets kids on TV. It gets more people watching. I think the Saturday game's been cool.
It's Rockwood and Oliver Springs.
Gotcha. Oliver Springs struggled this week against. Did they go to William Blount this week?
Yep, they did.
So did William Blount play Maryville week 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew they had played Maryville at some point.
Then the next week it's Oak Ridge and Farragut. That'll be
a good game.
And then Oak Ridge and West the week after.
Oh wow! Dang, Oak Ridge filling up the slots.
Yeah,
I think Farragut's on it 2 weeks in a row too.
they want the exposure. They want on TV. And with that short week,
Exactly.
skip class on Friday.
If you play it twice, it's not a short week.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
I know I'm sure a lot of administration don't like Thursday games because you get that, but it is what it is.
I think we played on Thursday twice. I never got to skip Friday.
Oh, I didn't either. I don't know how I wasn't very productive. I'm sure.
But to be fair, I wasn't productive most days regardless.
Exactly.
I don't need to share all that. How bad of a student I am was.
It's past the statute of limitations, right?
Exactly. I don't have anything else for high school football though. That's all I got. But send them in. I want to see them.
Yeah. Love high school football. I like that we haven't really covered it much.
No. We need to talk about it more.
Yeah, we need to do that.
It's going to be easy the first month because there's no college football to talk about. So it's going to be easy. When we get into college football, we'll have to work to cover it.
Yeah.
Do you have any
most importance?
Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, I was going to say you jumped ahead of me there.
Sorry.
Don't do that to me. Someone did say this isn't a question, but I thought it's worth mentioning because this is cool. We talked about the 98 season, how you can go and rewatch every game. Volman said, YouTube has so many 70s and 80s Tennessee football games. Love watching them again. He said, I don't remember the first time seeing them. I mean, I wasn't alive then, so I don't, it is cool. There are a lot of games on. I'm sure like the Alabamas, the Floridas, those programs, Texas have people probably upload their games, but not every program is fortunate to have games been televised so often for so long. So it's cool that so many Tennessee games can be rewatched.
Yeah, and a lot of those, they do, when they used to do the ESPN Classic, a lot of those are filmed.
Right.
Somebody does it probably legally. It's there for you. So
you can just take advantage.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not going to get in trouble.
Right.
They can't arrest us all.
Yeah.
Can't arrest us all. So no questions. Most important of the week.
So if we beat Florida, just a question.
In December 2020, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does 25,000 storm? Okay, maybe not Florida. Alabama. What about Alabama?
I think you have to.
You got to?
I think you have to.
You can't arrest us all.
So I know a lot of people have a take of they don't like storming because it's admitting that you haven't beat them in a while.
Or that you shouldn't have won.
I love storming. I think it's stupid that Clemson does it every game.
Yeah.
Because I think it should be dedicated to exciting games. But I don't think it should be dedicated to unexpected wins. I think it should be dedicated to exciting. Tennessee, Alabama, anytime Tennessee's number one or Alabama's number one and they get upset, the field should be stormed. Because emotions are running high. That should be the case.
Anytime you beat a top 10 program, I'm not saying you do it every time.
I think
as much as Tennessee's done it in the past 10 years, you probably do it.
That's So until Tennessee is
a top 10
staple
themselves,
a staple of the top 25. Because how often have we been in the top 25?
That's true.
Until you're a staple of the top 25, if you beat a top 10 opponent, you should storm.
Yeah.
And Alabama will be, you should put the 25,000 on the field. I think, especially storming in basketball is the coolest thing ever. I love not being able to see the court at all. It's the greatest thing ever. And you take that away because of safety.
Screw safety.
Screw safety. Right? Dedicate. You have so many police officers. Dedicate them to a player. Get them the hell off the court.
Yeah.
And let the fans go, man. Let them go.
Yeah, I've never done it at Tennessee, and that's sad. But it would be a lot of fun to do so.
Yeah. I think Tennessee should have a fund set up for the $250,000 fine for storming a court.
I'm just saying, if you kind of let the fans know that there's like, if we beat this team, we're gonna storm. Like, if they have the option to storm, I think you see a lot more donations.
Can you dedicate this to us storming? I think there's not a lot of opportunities to storm the court or like storm the field if you're not Clemson. Which again, I do hate that tradition. I think that's a dumb tradition to have. Everybody run on the field. No. But yeah, just storming a court, storming a field. Yeah, that's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to take away. Kind of like the checkerboard.
So you say yes, 25,000 storms would be
for Alabama. Florida, you beat them in 2016. Unless like now, if Tennessee won like a Hail Mary, and we're talking the winner goes to Atlanta and the winner goes to the playoff.
Playoffs.
Like did they storm in 13 when Auburn the kick six?
I think so.
You storm that every time, every day of the week, no questions asked. The security guard should have been like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, just wave them through like they're going home.
Exactly. Like, you should have been arrested if you weren't on the field.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. You should be thrown in the paddy wagon.
Exactly. I just think it create. So I think I'm not saying. So I think this is, a lot of people are like, sports don't need fans. For sports to be the kind of passion and like the what makes college football so special, one of the factors, not the only factor, not the defining factor, but one of the factors that makes college football so special is the fans.
Yeah.
It is.
And I think it's like professional baseball, like they're not having fans right now, but I feel like the more you don't, the less like
it's not going to get us.
Less people tune into it.
Yeah, but the thing that saves sports like the thing that if it was like you said, if it was a continuous thing, like it would not be. The good thing is it's just a year that you got to like weather this, so those fans are going to tune in on TV.
Right.
But yeah, if it was a thing where if nobody went to the games ever, it wouldn't be a thing.
No.
Because look at high school football in like Texas or in small towns where the talent's probably not as good, but the atmosphere is incredible because fans care.
Yeah.
Fans are an important.
The whole town shuts down.
Fans are an important part of sports. I'm not saying they're the only part that matters because they're far from the only part that matters, but it is a big part.
You don't sell many pictures of Neyland Stadium if it's empty.
Correct.
I would buy it.
It's I think there should be a level of respect from athlete to fan in terms of like, we know you bring us entertainment. We know your job's hard. We know you should get paid. Or like in the NFL, we're like, sign this dude because we want to be good. Pay him a lot of money. And there should be a level of respect from the athlete in terms of like, and I'm not talking about the asshole fans that are like, I pay your salary, you should win football games. I'm not talking about those. But there should be a level. There should be a level of respect where it's like, my job wouldn't be as cool if it wasn't for like the group of you all. Obviously, like, no athlete should be out here like, Landon Raby, thank you so much. It's an honor to be cheered on by you.
That'd be nice. I would appreciate it.
It would be cool. I'm not saying that is how it should be, but there should be like a level of respect between like the 102,000 at the game and the athletes on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not trying to like be like, yeah, fans are the best, they're important, but there's a reason people go to games in Neyland. That's on people's bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like what you said with the fans and the athlete, because there's a lot of like fans out there saying, "Oh yeah, we need the like athletic department needs us."
Yeah.
Yeah, they do to play. No. For it to be as big as it is, yes.
But I mean, yes, but and that's the separation. It shouldn't be like you need me to operate. It should just be like, we know what makes this special is
we need each other.
Our relationship.
Yeah, we need each other.
Like it wouldn't be as special without me or without us. Me is not the right word. It's a group of people that make it special, and it wouldn't be as special without you all either.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely and you guys are the most important part of it, because if you don't win, it's not special.
Right. And like if Tennessee fans weren't the way they are, if you lose to Georgia State, like I'm sure that's a huge recruiting pitch to people. Like, yeah, we fit 102, 455 people.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool to be a Tennessee fan in terms of you've seen, and I know people like fair weather fans, they boo and they leave, but the majority of Tennessee fans that sit in the stadium are just, they don't want it but the best for Tennessee. The majority, like and they'll cheer through the worst because like they believe the best will come. And also, what we've seen on the field the last 15 years, I feel like most Tennessee fans get the right to boo, which I hate it. I think the only times I booed, I was booing a coach. Like when we kneel with 40 seconds left in the half. Are you not taking advantage of every opportunity you can to go score? Especially on teams that like you should score on. Like if it's Alabama and their defense has scored 3 touchdowns on you and you get a chance to go to the half tied, yeah, kneel the ball and get out of there.
Yeah.
But if you're playing App State, it's a tie ball game and you get an extra possession and you're kicking off in the second half, go down the field and score, you jackass.
Yeah, get in field goal range.
And I did boo in those situations because I was like, you're an idiot.
Now, if you're on the 30 and there's 2 seconds left, yeah, you probably kneel. But if there's 45 seconds left,
if you get a chance to play a possession,
yeah,
yeah, those are. But no, I don't even know how. Oh, we got on this topic about storming. It's just, I think so many people are just so selfish and stupid. They're like, oh, they need me to play football, and then there's some athletes that are like, you need me to go to a game, like, and it's like, I mean, I don't need you specifically.
Yeah,
I need what athletes bring, but yeah, I think, I don't know, I guess some people like forget that it's a group effort of what kind of goes on in the world.
And this is like the 0.01%.
Yeah.
Of Tennessee. I mean, most athletes, most fans have a great relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what makes sports so great is the atmosphere.
Exactly.
And that includes athletes and fans.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many football programs in the country that operate, but the game day atmosphere, the games, the history is just never going to be as special as places like in the SEC, or like look at what UCF has done over the years in a short amount of time, where their stadium is fun. It is a good atmosphere. I think it's the bounce house. But I mean, it's a bounce house because they get that freaking stadium rocking.
Even Clemson, like, yeah, they might have been open for a long time, but like they're not a historic program.
No, most of their history has been built over the last 10 years.
Yeah, and it's one of the best stadiums to go to apparently. But
it has always been a good stadium.
Yeah,
to be fair. Now that, dude, the Howard Rock walk-in they have 2 of the dumbest traditions I've ever heard of. And I don't hate the idea of like rubbing Howard's Rock, but their locker room's on the other side of the stadium, so they have to get in buses and drive around to walk down the hill.
Yeah, that's weird.
Put a locker room on the right side of the field, you morons. How hard is it? And it's like, is that special to ride a bus before a game? Everyone rides a bus before a game.
Right. Yeah, the away team rode a bus a while.
Yeah, and they like get in it in full pads. It's like going to like a middle school game or something. Like you have to wear your pads on the bus. Yeah. I understand me as a fan. I'm not a special person, but I do understand that fans as a whole, as a group, this picture is a great example of like fans did that, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And obviously it had no bearing on the game. 0 bearing on the game. But that is, so many people like will remember that scene that were there for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and I think would you mention
we lost that game.
We did.
That was Oklahoma.
I like what you mentioned with the game day experience, because that's part of it too. Is just like not just the game itself, but before the game, like so many people that have no intentions of even going to the game.
Yep.
Get their hours before, pay to park, pay for food and all that stuff, just to basically celebrate what's about to happen that they don't even know the outcome of.
Or get so drunk that you don't remember what happened because you don't want to remember.
Exactly.
I've never done that, but yeah, it's
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
I don't speak from experience. It's cool. It's cool to be a fan. It's fun to be a fan. Unfortunately, it's become cool to be like a really grumpy and angry fan. I don't know. That is funny. Like, not that because nobody in the athletic department and nobody, like no player owes me anything because I cheered for him. Because it's not like I forced you. I chose to cheer for him. Mm-hmm. They don't owe me because like if you don't win, obviously people can make fun of you for being a bandwagon and jumping ship. But the fact of like being a fan, the reason the Dallas Cowboys are so popular, the Patriots nowadays are so popular, Alabama, is because they win, and people are like, I want to be a winner, so I'm going to cheer for them. You can change your fandom at any moment, really. I mean, I couldn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
You're
could
born
never.
into it.
Born into it, and I chose it. Because I used to try to, like, when I was younger, I used to try to, like, be fans of other teams.
Yeah, I did too. It
was like, oh, who's winning right now? Or, like, Oregon was the cool team on NCAA because they had all the jerseys. Like, I'm an Oregon fan.
Texas, Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Like,
are...
I don't want to be. And then, like, when you grow up and you learn what, like, kind of what it is to be a fan, to be able to go to the games, be able to experience the atmosphere, to, like, love the color orange, because I do. People are like, is your favorite color orange? And I was like, kind of. Not really. Probably blue. But, yes, orange. I do love orange.
Right.
It's like, that's like, knowing the players' names, being, like, in the same... I feel like some people don't care about being in the same city as a team. It's hard. Like, it's hard to, like, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I think it'd be a lot more fun to be an Arsenal fan if I lived in London. It's like, right now, it's just like, I watch them on TV and I follow them just because it's who I follow, but it's not the same as being a Tennessee fan.
It's nice to drive 10 minutes to be at the stadium.
Exactly.
Or close to the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. But, no, that's my fan experience. What's cool about being a Tennessee fan, and it's not been as much fun because we sucked, is taking people to games. That's cool. I took an Oklahoma fan to the Oklahoma game. And it was just like, wow. The noise, the orange and white checkerboard, oh wow.
Yeah, that's...
And even taking Tennessee fans is cool. They get to experience it
Yeah.
for the first time, or it's cool.
Yep.
Tennessee fans that don't care about football.
Especially like a big game like Oklahoma and stuff like that. There's just something different about the
Unfortunately,
experience.
the lame games suck, but it's part of playing lame duck games.
Yep. Not this year, though. But
This year, no lame games, all SEC.
You
baby.
can't just bring whoever.
The first game my nephew went to was UAB in 2010. It was terrible. We went to overtime.
Yeah.
And what was cool about it, obviously the game was awful, but what was cool about it is obviously you never experienced Neyland very loud in those games. There were probably like 80,000 people there, if that, 70, 80,000 people there. And in the overtime, it got loud. Not even close to Neyland loud, but still it got loud. So it was cool. He probably doesn't remember it. He was really young. But he got to experience Neyland his first game. That eventually, unfortunately, because the team was playing bad, but eventually got to experience it.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad. I don't even know what my first game was.
I don't remember my first game, but my first ever experience in Neyland, I remember I walked through the tunnel of O. I remember we walked in gate 11. We walked in gate 11. Gate 9. Walked in gate 9, went in through O, and I remember... And it's unfortunate because I've never seen it like replicated to this day. The first time, I guess, it's like, and my memory, you like replay memories that get better and better in your head. Well, if they're good memories, if they're bad memories, that's another subject.
Just let it go.
Yeah, that's another subject. Good memories though, they always get better and better. I remember the first time ever seeing the checkerboard end zones. I was like, oh my god! Like I remember the field being bright green. It was a night game, so we walk in, the lights were on, and the orange was the brightest. Like it. Maybe that's why I'm just like the end zones never look good enough, because I'm like, I vividly remember how bright that orange was in the south end zone.
Yeah.
It was a night game. It's probably like Kentucky or something, because I didn't get to go to all the games when I was little. But I remember it being a night game. The one I remember, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But I'm sure I went when I was like a baby to...
Yeah, I wish that I knew I went to that game, because then you could go back and be like, yeah, I saw that guy play, and that guy play, and that guy play. Yeah. The first one I remember, and just because it was so weird, was the Arkansas game where Jason Witten catches a touchdown. Game. Because we were there till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, what year was that? A 1?
That sounds right. 2001. Sounds right.
So we were like, what, 6?
Yeah. 5. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so I was like... I don't remember the game,
right?
But I remember being there because we got like some kind of tickets through my parents' friends had like company tickets, so we were down like right behind the end zone.
Yeah,
that they threw that touchdown to.
So I know my first game was in 1999. I don't know which game it was. It had to be a lower game that my family got tickets to, because it was me and my brother and my dad. But I don't remember the game. I don't remember the game. I just know that was my first game, was in 1999.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's dude.
I love the little orange sweatsuits and jackets that like I had when I was little. I was like,
Dude,
man,
my dad, which like they're like when I was growing up, I was like, do you really have to wear that to the game? Because it was not the style then. Because he wore
and
like
now everybody wants it.
he wore
They
like
pay
the early
80 bucks for
2000s,
it.
late 90s starter jackets all the time.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dude, I wish I had that jacket. I did. Oh, this is cool. I need to find out what game it was from. My grandmother like 3 years ago gave me one of my grandfather's old like jackets.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I haven't touched it since he passed away. He passed away in 94. Haven't touched it since he passed away. Like, he hung it up after a game, blah, blah, blah. I went and wore it for the first time. I put it on to go to a game, and it had peanuts in it. Like, peanuts from a football game that were, like, he had eaten, like, half of them and folded up the other.
Yeah.
She just hadn't touched it since he passed away. Just hung in the closet. So I was like, these are from 1994. And
You should have ate one.
they're from a Tennessee. What was cool was they were from a Tennessee football game in 1994.
Dang.
Yeah.
Was it like a bomber jacket? Is it button or zip?
It buttons. So I guess
like a
bomber,
bomber
yeah.
jacket.
I've worn it to a couple Tennessee games.
Yeah, I think I've seen you wear it.
I have that.
Yes, so it's not that like bright orange like that. It's like like I said, so many different oranges.
Yeah.
It's that like matte orange almost.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we've been rambling on about being a fan. It's cool though. I love being a Tennessee fan.
Yeah, we're like so close to football season, but we're not there
I
yet.
know. So you get to you're only remembering the past right now.
Yeah.
Only remembering the past.
So you got any more most importance?
I don't.
I have.
Oh wait, did I even do one? I don't remember what we talked about.
So I think we were just talking about a fan. I don't think we even got the most important yet.
So I do have a most important. I showed you the video. If you don't look it up, Tony Hawk, Sky Brown, 8 years old, drops in on the mega ramp, and dude, it's incredible. It's one of the most impressive like things I've seen a kid do.
Yeah, because I would never do it.
I wouldn't do it as an. I wouldn't even try it as an adult.
Exactly.
But the fact that a kid does it, and a kid looks so smooth and like just.
Like she's been doing it for
Experienced.
years, which I'm sure she has.
But she's 8, so like how maybe 3 years max.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yep. My first one is Budda Baker. Being the highest paid
Buttermaker?
safety in pretty much. Being the highest paid NFL or safety in NFL history with a 4-year deal, $59 million.
Dang.
Cardinals safety.
Are the Cardinals gonna be good this year?
I feel like they're trying to build a team to be good. I just hope like their better players now don't like they miss their window.
Yeah, that's true.
With the young talent that they have right now with Kyler Murray and some of those guys. I don't know. I feel like they should be decent. That's a tough with the
And you just got a young coach in Kingsbury that's
and like
Not
they
won a
got
lot.
the Seahawks and
Rams.
Who's the other?
It's not the Chargers. Seahawks, Rams. Why'd you ask me that?
I don't remember which one it is either.
I'll look it up real quick. I'm just curious to see if Kingsbury can win. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Not convinced. 49ers.
Yes, that's tough. That's probably the toughest one in football.
Which is funny because like 4 years ago,
It
would have been one of the worst.
Yeah.
Outside the Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah, Seahawks, 49ers. Yeah, that's a tough division to.
The NFC is going to be tough this year.
The NFC's been tough for a while.
Fair. Well,
Because then a couple years ago, you had the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons.
yeah, but even like you had that 1 year the Panthers were really good, but other than that, the Panthers were always just kind of like.
Yeah. Well, then the year after that, then you have the Packers, the Vikings.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Who else?
true. Packers, Vikings, Lions, and Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions and Bears too.
And then you have the Eagles that were good for a while.
But the NFC East was like just the Eagles. Well, the Giants had a couple years there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the AFC though. I mean, they have the AFC West, which I guess you have the Raiders in that division. That kind of hurts you.
And the Chargers aren't good really
No,
anymore.
I guess the AFC is not anywhere near as good as the NFC.
they're
But
just
they
not
always
like-
have a Super Bowl winner in the Patriots, so I guess it kind of fools you into
Yeah.
thinking they're good.
Yeah, or the Chiefs.
Or the Chiefs this year,
It's,
yeah.
it's like those two teams.
And then the Steelers had several years they're really good, which helps. Yeah, but definitely top to bottom, the NFC is much better.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more most important.
I do. So Jamal Murray for the Denver Nuggets. This was last week. Had 92 points in his last 2 games, and they're the most in that span in Nuggets playoff history. The previous record was 74, and that was Carmelo Anthony in 2010.
Dang.
So dude's going off. He's really turned into a superstar this kind of playoff series. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they get out of the first round, but hey, we'll see.
Playoffs could get interesting. I think a lot of people expected the first round to be pretty mellow outside of a couple matchups. But
Well, I saw a video today, and it was like all the people who like picked Portland to beat the Lakers,
Yeah.
and it was like Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith was probably one of them. Yeah, there's a lot of people that picked Portland to win.
it's looking more and more likely. I don't know if likely is the right word, but
they
possible.
Lost. They lost.
Oh, they ended up losing?
They lost the series.
Oh, they lost the series? Oh, I thought I
games.
thought it was game 3 Saturday night.
No, 5 games.
Oh, that's right. It's 5 now in the first couple rounds.
No,
They-
it's still it's best of 7.
Oh, it's best of 7?
It was
that's
just game
hockey.
5. It was
Oh, okay.
they won 4-1.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I thought it was game.
last night was game 5.
I thought it was game 4 last night or game 3 last night.
Gotcha.
I thought it was game 3, so I didn't think the series was over yet.
And did you see Ole Miss? Did you see who's back on their basketball staff?
Yes.
Marshall Henderson, baby.
How is he going to coach? Like, how is he going to have the maturity to?
He's probably just doing it for like college girls.
You think he gets girls?
No, but I feel like he thinks he gets girls.
Fair.
You have any fails?
I do have a fail. Did you see the picture or the video that I sent you of the guy that filmed the Blue Hill versus Loomis game? And he videotaped an onside kick, not from the sidelines and not even from the track, but from outside the fence of the football stadium. It was a high school game. That's how far away he was standing.
Jesus. So he's like in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Almost.
And he filmed it like he was like reporting on the game.
Dude, just
Or tweeted like he was reporting on the game.
walk up.
I'm so confused.
That was weird.
It looks like he's standing on his front porch. There's like a mailbox out front.
Yeah. Maybe it's his house. I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know.
He's like on high school games going on. Oh, tie ball game. Better tweet about it. I don't know.
Maybe he was tailgating in his front yard.
That's actually probably right.
I have one fail. J.R. Smith doing J.R. Smith stuff.
What is he doing now?
They threw him a pass and he was in the corner. He was about a foot out of bounds and he tried to shoot the ball.
Is he just stoned? Like, is he just always constantly stoned?
I don't know what's wrong with that man.
I don't either. That's awesome. I love J.R. Smith though, especially when they were like all those videos of the Cavaliers like at Indians games and stuff. That was my favorite J.R. Smith.
Mine was like him when they won when the Cavs beat the Warriors.
And he'd just go over with his shirt off.
Yeah, and like he was in the club with like bottles, just spraying them.
He always had like Hennessy on. Shirt off and Hennessy. That's my favorite J.R. Smith. Bring that J.R. back.
Yeah. Now he can't even. He don't even know out of bounds. Or
That's the problem.
what
He
the
won a
score is.
championship and just got carried away and is now permanently stoned.
Maybe he had a bad trip. It just affected his life.
Maybe. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
I don't know.
Guys, I want to thank y'all for listening. Football, so close. 27 days away. If you listen to this on Monday, 26 days away. If you listen to it on Tuesday, you're late, but 25 days away. Wednesday, we have a new episode for you. So if this is Wednesday, just turn it off. I'm just kidding. You can finish it, but you get it. We appreciate y'all listening. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good noise, good stuff. Make sure you're following along football season. We're getting there.
Yep. It's going to be a rocky road to get to these next 27 days. But hey,
Yeah.